Traveling in different countries, one of the biggest blessing in my life. That way I exposed to different cultures, languages, races, and religions, and that brought me strength in my own faith.
This is In Good Faith, listening to first-person experiences of faith and belief.
On In Good Faith, it's our privilege to hear stories and accounts from believers told in their own words. Our hope is to listen with an open heart, celebrating the power of faith and belief and what those stories mean to the ones who tell them. I'm speaking in good faith today with Zeynep Karapartic. She's originally from Istanbul, Turkey. She has a bachelor's in language and literature from Pristina University in Kosovo and a master's degree in business management and leadership from Western Governors University. She's a hospice volunteer coordinator, chairperson currently of the Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable. You are also, what would you call what you do at the Emerald Hills Institute?
I am among the founders of Emerald Hills Institute. Basically, our mission is very similar to Interfaith Roundtable. We try to create love, harmony, and understanding among different cultures and faith groups. And we create educational opportunities, and we organize any type of events that brings people together and create friendship among them.
I would like to ask you your very first memories of religion or what God was. Was that part of the home you grew up in?
Yes, I mean, religion was part of my family, my environment, the society I was born in. So we pretty much raised with a religion embedded to our culture and our family life. And I'm a Muslim, and daily prayers, fastings during Ramadan. And so we were very, very involved with religious practices in my community. That's how I raised.
And did you always believe in God, or did you question sometimes?
I didn't question until I reached, in middle school, that age, teenager years, that you are against everything in your life, You must be...
I can tell you have children.
Yes. You must be, what is it called? Rebel,
yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So you question everything, your family, your values, your identity, your religion, of course. But we have been taught different religious classes in my middle school and high school years. I was fine and I was in agreement with my own culture and faith. So I didn't really end up seeking in different types of religious or faiths. So I was fine with my own identity.
Just an interesting question that I have was, because you were in Turkey,
yes,
when you would go to the mosque,
yes,
was it in Turkish, Arabic, or both?
So both. So basically, preachers will be Turkish because everyone speaks Turkish and very limited people know Arabic in Turkey. So when imam gives speech or sermon, it is Turkish. But when we are doing prayers are Arabic.
That makes sense. You have a very interesting background to me. You moved to different countries.
Yes,
and
I did.
Tell me the countries that you moved through, where you've lived, and what brought you to the U.S.
Yeah, traveling in different countries, one of the biggest blessing in my life. That way I exposed to different cultures, languages, races, and religions, and exposed very different things. And that brought me strength in my own faith. So I was in Turkey till I was 20 years old, and then I got married. Because of my husband's job, we have been in Central Asia, in Kyrgyzstan. Then we went to Romania, and then Kosovo. And 12 years ago, one day, all of a sudden, we received a green card visa notification. I don't know if you know, green card visa, you get that visa through lottery. So basically, we won a lottery. And then we were in Turkey back then. And we were like, we have been applying for green card, kind of just for fun and see what is going to happen. And we have never thought of, getting that visa. And when we received that notification, we looked at each other and what are we going to do now? We have 4 kids between 3 and 13 and we got visa. What are we going to do now? And then we decided to come and try. And my husband applied different jobs and he got a job offer from Utah. That's how we heard first time about Utah. Other than Utah Jazz, we only knew Utah Jazz, but nothing else about Utah. And then we came here. We were, of course, hesitant, although we have lived in different countries. But America was very far away and big country. It is a dream country for many, but we weren't sure how it is going to work out for us. But we just decided to come and see how is life here. And we found most wonderful people here around us. And this experience taught us a lot. And my kids raised in this culture, they are very blessed to have a great community and friends and teachers and schools, and we have been very blessed to have a great social community in here. So everything turned out great so far.
Oh, I'm happy. Congratulations on your wonderful English. Really. I mean, you've learned that as an adult. It's more difficult.
Yes, it is harder when you're adult, especially after 35 years old. It is even harder learning a second language. It wasn't easy, but I came that far so far, but we will see. I know I still need to improve, but I think I survive.
You are part of so many service organizations that really seems to be important to you. Mm-hmm. Is that connected to your faith?
Yes, because what I learned, my faith, the main principle is be a good person. Mm-hmm. And you can be a good person in many ways. I mean, you can be a good mother, father, you can be a good coworker, and good teacher, good doctor. But I just wanted to make more of this because my faith teaches me various practices that I can be a more spiritual person. Also, I can be a better person in our society and I can make impact in my society. For example, Hadith, Prophet Muhammad says, he says, if you are sleeping while your neighbor is hungry, you are not really among Muslims. So he doesn't say your Christian neighbor or Jewish neighbor or atheist neighbor. He says your neighbor. So that hadith has been one of my favorite quote from my prophet. So it gave me responsibility to serve my community, doing my best. And I know I can't do too much or I can't save the world, but if everyone does their best for their own circle, then we can save the world, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It is not that hard. It is hard, but if everyone does their own part, then it's going to be easy.
In Turkey, you were in a majority Muslim country, mm-hmm. and I assume you heard the calls to prayer and all of that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is it just as easy, or is it harder to live your religion when you're in a place where you're the minority, you're not hearing the call to prayer? Does that make a difference?
It does, of course, because, we are not hearing 5 times call for prayers from the mosques. And majority is not fasting while you are fasting entire month during Ramadan.
So you go to work or wherever you're serving and everybody's eating but you.
Yes. And we have holidays that is not the same as, the society we are in. But those are challenge. We can tell them challenge, but they have never been a big deal for us because we have small community that we get together when we have holidays and or religious gatherings. And we kind of try to keep our religious traditions alive in the society. And also it is good opportunity for us to share ourselves with our non-Muslim friends while learning from them. So Also learning from people who are not Muslim is another, I see this as advantage because when you are not with non-Muslim friends and when you learn from their experience, from their point of views, you learn new things that you have never heard in your own faith. When you adopt those good practices in your faith, then you become a better Muslim.
And I have heard so many people say that their Muslim friends have taught them to consider more about the importance of, for instance, prayer or fasting, some of those observances that we learn from each other.
Yes, it is mutual, really. When you get together, there is a lot to learn from each other, and that actually makes us more powerful and enrich our lives.
So you could worship at home.
Yes.
But why is it important to you to go to a mosque or be in a religious community and not just worship on your own? Is there something that you get from that or that happens that helps you?
So in Islam, it is not required for women to go to mosque, but it is recommended. It is mandatory for men. And I like to go to mosque in here. I go to mosque more than even I do in my own country because, I miss the community. I miss the connection because when I go out, I like everyone around me. But of course, you like to see your people from your own church, right?
Right.
So I like to smell the air in the mosque, and I like to interact with my Muslim sisters and brothers. But this is not something required for women. Like I said, it's required for men.
I'm interested in knowing why you became part of interfaith organizations and even helped found one.
Yes. Thank you so much for this question because this is my passion, interfaith and dialogue. So when I came here, I was involved with the Emerald Hills Institute. Like I mentioned, it's an interfaith organization. And that's how I met with Interfaith Roundtable. Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable was founded during Winter Olympics. Back then, the governor wanted to create a welcoming and inclusive space for everyone who are coming for Olympics. And then they wanted to establish this organization. And since then, Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable is serving and growing. And when I met with Interfaith Roundtable 12 years ago, I really liked their services and what they are doing, bringing people together and creating interfaith events, and people are sitting around the table and they are talking about each other and they are asking questions to each other. It has been a great learning experience for me, and I kept my involvement as much as I can. I was very active organizing events and participating events and in planning stage and leading events. And then I was invited to be part of board, and now I am a chairperson of Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable. It is important for me because I see interfaith and dialogue can be a solution of the conflict all around the world. And because, many people needs education, understanding other faiths or cultures. And many conflicts and fears comes through this ignorance. And as we work hard increasing understanding among different religions, and then we can create a very strong and powerful community, and we can see interfaith as strength, not a weakness.
Because of the events of 9/11, many Muslims in the United States began to experience discrimination or prejudice in a way that they had not before, or it increased. Do you see that changing as time goes by, or is it just as people get to know one another, does that make a difference?
I see it is changing, but I also see we need more progress on that because people still scared. People still don't know what really Islam is, what Muslim neighbor. They are still scared having some conversation with Muslim friends or neighbors and relatives. So we still need to work on that, not only toward Islam. There are, anti-Semitism and some other fears, and there are things that we don't like to talk, but they are real. So I feel interfaith is the only solution, reconciliation all of these relations and creating education, making sure people understand any religion doesn't have anything to do with any type of violence, not only Islam. I am involved more than 40 faith groups, and the main principle is justice and anti-violence and creating goodness for society. Those are main principles of all faiths. So we need to teach this principle to the people because they still have fear, misunderstandings.
I think it is so important that if someone wants to know about Islam, that they speak to a Muslim.
Yes, just speak to a Muslim.
Just like if you want to know about Baptists, you talk to a Baptist rather than somebody else who may or may not even know.
That is very crucial. And studies show that people with Muslim neighbors has showed 80% lower fear than people who doesn't have Muslim neighbors, because they interact with Muslim neighbors and they talk. They go to their home, they drink something together, and they ask. And then they realize that, oh, there's nothing different. I just go to church, she goes to mosque. That's it. The rest is almost same.
Yes, and you're trying to get your children to become good people and do their homework.
Yes, for sure. Trying to keep them in track, and we are struggling with, illnesses, and we are paying bills, and 90% of our lives are the same. And then the God, we believe in the same God, and only the way we show our practices and prayers are different. And those are very tiny differences. And the rest is almost same. And then we could come to this realization. There's nothing to be worried about it. Nothing to be worried about my neighbor or my friend. And it's very simple. Just ask your ordinary Muslim or Jewish or Buddhist friend. That's it. And you do not look for any further. And they will tell you how great their faiths are. And there's nothing to worry about.
Isn't that interesting? I always ask myself, why are we taught to be afraid of other people, or what causes that fear? Because nobody makes good decisions out of fear.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. But I think, unfortunately, media have played a huge role increasing that fear. But here there is media trying to create more education for our society. So I wish the media has been used that way instead of otherwise.
Well, thank you for coming today so you could help with that. You can be part of the media.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much.
I'm picturing you as a young girl in Turkey. And then I see you now with a vast experience from different countries and education. And how do you see your faith or experience it differently now than you did as a child or when you were a teenager?
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you for this. So when I was a teenager in my young age, I was in my own country and practicing my own religion, didn't know many things about other faiths and, cultures. I was fine. I was a happy child and I didn't have any problem. And then I exposed to different geographies, cultures, and faiths and languages. And I started learning from different people. And I went their synagogues, I went their temples, I went their churches, and I met with their faith leaders. I sat on their tables. We ate together. And we shared our food, we shared our bread. And I came to the realization that we all are human with same principles, with same struggles, with same life challenges. And then we all are trying to be a good person out of all those odd things. Then I became more open-minded person, and I start to learn what my friends and my people I am interacting with are doing in their life. And now I am doing much more things that regular Muslims do in my country. I'm more active. I am joining social responsibility projects, and I'm actively participating events and being part of organizing events because I see importance of spreading the beauty of interfaith and dialogue. And I think I can tell I evolved a lot and I became a better Muslim, and I try to be a good representative of my faith because there are misconceptions on women in Islam too. So that is another thing. So that I'm just trying to be a good representative of my faith, and I can tell I evolved a lot and now I feel better in my own faith.
I wonder if I could ask about developing a relationship with God. What are the things that make you feel connected? Anything from prayers or answers or the Quran or service, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
What helps you feel connected?
Yes. So 5-time daily prayers for sure keeps me connected and engaged with my God, because we pray in the morning and at noon, afternoon, evening, and midnight. So between those time frames, you do your worldly things, and then you remember God again 5 times. That really keeps me connected with God, and that reminds me, okay, you are in here, you are living your life. It is like a message from God, but I am here to protect you, guide you, and help you. Sometimes I'll let you get some challenges. Sometimes you will have struggles. I'll let you struggle a little bit, but I am here all the time. Also, it keeps me from being a greedy person because, this is one life, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. We don't know. We don't know if we are going to live till tomorrow. And then there's going to be hereafter. So this life is temporary and short, and there will be another life hereafter. We all hope that we are going to end up in eternal heaven, and then I just try to stop being greedy. This life is not worth being a greedy or sad for anything, because it's going to pass, and we are going to die someday, and we are going to be judged by our actions, not our title, not our education, not our money, not our car brand or home, but our actions will come with us, and we will be judged by them. So that's how I keep connected with God.
Boy, several times a day being reminded of those things, that could make a big difference in the whole world for us all to be reminded of what's lasting, what's important.
Yes.
Maybe I know the answer to this already, but because you are a person of faith and committed to Islam, how does that change how you interact with the world and with other people?
Because of the faith that I am part of, I feel that encouragement and social responsibility on my shoulder.
Because that is one of the 5 pillars, is alms or service to people.
Yes. I mean, it's very important. I mean, each faith person has their own prayer to do your prayer. I go to mosque, you go to church, the other person go to, mosque or temple. But at the end of the day, what makes you a good faith person is your deeds. And how you interact with your colleagues, how you interact with your family, your kids, your friends, your community. I feel that encouragement from my faith. Because, yes, praying 5 times is good for my own faith, my own reconciliation with God. But this doesn't have anything to do with my actions and with my impact in the society. And as person of faith, we all have a responsibility to make a good impact in our society. So we should be alert on social justice, environment or human rights, and science and education and everything, and environment, everything going on around us. Everything is related to our faith, because our faith teaches us be considerate person toward animals, toward your environment, toward other people, so that we can create a better world for our kids, for future generations. I feel my faith encourages me doing more and more, and I feel supported from my faith that way.
If someone is curious about Islam and they want to visit a mosque, are they welcome?
Yes. If I am right, there are 9 mosques in Salt Lake County. I attend a few of them, and I am sure if anyone goes to any mosque, and they will be very, very welcomed. Their question will be answered, and they will be served some good snacks or food, and they will be finding their questions.
I appreciate that. I know the answer to that because I've been to a number of mosques and been very welcomed. In fact, I've been invited in Ramadan for the iftar, for breaking the fast at the end of the day. It was a lovely experience.
Yes,
and the people were so kind and wanted to be sure I was comfortable. And I appreciate that.
I feel the same way when I attend temple or synagogue or Christian church or LDS Word. So I feel the same way. And we, people of faith, feel and act the same way. We just need more communication and getting out of our comfort zone. And that is the hardest part. Once we got there, we love the experience. I didn't see from any single person saying, oh, I went to that place, it was horrible. I have never heard of this. We just need to get a little bit uncomfortable, to force ourselves and go somewhere and meet new people different than us. And you will love this experience.
Is there anything else that you would like to say that's important to you that I haven't asked you?
Yeah, I like to ask everyone who is listening us right now, and please get out of your comfort zone and get a little bit uncomfortable and meet with new people different than you. Get that experience, ask questions, and don't rely on internet or Google what they say to you. You can learn anything from your neighbor, regular neighbor. It doesn't have to be a scholar or important person in their faith. Ask your neighbor or ask your friend, ask your classmate who is different than you. Eat some food together and share some life experiences together. You will see that your life will be more colorful and you will feel happier because as you expose yourself to different people and your fear will be gone and you will see there's nothing to worry about it and you will be a happier person.
That's the perfect ending. I can only say I agree. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, people will listen to you and will follow up and be willing to be a little bit uncomfortable on the journey to being comfortable with everyone.
Yes, for sure. Otherwise, we will remain in our own bubble. Like I was a teenager in my own country. You could be still happy, but you will be missing great opportunities. Because you are missing meeting new opportunities, then you will not be learning those. And those are great things to learn and celebrate with people around you. And I wouldn't want anyone missing this great opportunity.
Zeynep Karaparuch,
yes.
Thank you for speaking with me today in good faith.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. If anyone wants to reach out to us, they can go to Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable website. And if they are interested in learning any particular faith, we have a list of all faith groups in Salt Lake City and here on our website, and they can reach out to them or they can reach out to us directly. We will be happy to direct them to the right source that they are looking for.
That's our time for today. Thanks to Zeynep Karaparuch for generously sharing her faith and her stories. In Good Faith is committed to the idea that we all benefit from hearing people of widely varying backgrounds share their personal experience with faith and belief. In fact, we think people with such experience deserve some of our best listening. Email us at ingoodfaith@byu.edu. And if you enjoy the show, be sure you leave a comment or a review where you get your podcasts. Help spread the word. All of our episodes are online at byuradio.org/ingoodfaith. Our Twitter feed is @ingoodfaithbyu. In Good Faith is a production of BYU Radio. I'm Stephen Cap Perry. I hope you'll join me again soon, right here in Good Faith.